I want to be around like-minded people. I want to be around people who are happy for me, people who want to see me successful, because that's my energy towards them.
Mic check, mic check. What's up? What's going on? It's Ross Martinez, your host of the KZ Community Beat. This week, I got Ray Flacko, Mario Young of Golden Garments and Integrity Wear. They are the hosts of the first annual Hoodie and Sneaker Ball. Guys, I saw the story on 25 News, and there's a couple things that stuck out at me. I lost my grandma to pancreatic cancer. Mario, you're a survivor of cancer?
No, I have a few aunts that passed away, and my grandmother actually, was a survivor of cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, so actually then I have, right now, one of my aunts, her name is Emma Matthews. She's battling cancer, and she's fighting, and she's fighting hard. She's doing what she needs to do. Yeah.
I remember I heard that aspect. I'm like, I got to talk to you. I lost my grams to cancer, so we'll get into that. And Flacko, man, your story of basketball player, grade school, didn't go the way you thought it was going to go. We'll get into your entire journey. But both of you guys, you took negatives in your life.
Right.
You have to flip it around.
Most definitely.
First question I'm going to ask you both. How does it feel to look back at the path you were at and where you are now?
Man, I mean, it's glorious, man. That's all I could say. Because, man, I mean, I've seen, done, been through a lot that just, man, and just to look at, like, what I have going now is good. I mean, the main thing about it is, my people, my main people are happy. So, that's
what matters the most.
That's all that matters, man.
And how do you feel, Mario, about everything?
Coming from where we from, man, like, every loss is a lesson. So I feel like every loss that I had, I learned from something. I grew up in a single-parent household, so mama raised me tough, you know what I mean? So I always had to have thick skin, always had to be, mature for my age. So when I take a loss, trust and believe I'm coming back, and I'm learning. And I've learned from what I did, so it won't happen again. And if it does, I'm well prepared for it.
So let's talk about this, being well prepared. This is the first annual Hoodie and Sneaker Ball.
Most definitely.
Let's talk about, what's this concept? How did you guys reach this?
Man, I mean, it really just, because me and Mario are cousins. So it really just came into, cuz came to me like, man, we need to do something, man, And I'm like, man, bet, what's up, So he come like, man, what you want to do? Because I'm thinking, honestly, when he said he wanted to do something, I'm thinking he wanted, since we both in the clothing line, I'm thinking he wanted to put a clothing something together. But he like, nah, we need to do something for the city, something that's, something that don't nobody do. So I'm like, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, come on, great heads, you put them together, hey, you're going to come up with something great.
I'll tell you, I did not know this Hoodie Peoria versus everybody was your thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm originally from Chicago.
Most definitely.
And the phrase, Chicago versus everybody.
Oh, yeah,
we stubborn with it. Vic Mensa, we stubborn with that. So I was walking my dog down the riverfront, and I seen a cat wearing that gray hoodie walking. And to me, I'm like, word? Like,
where'd that come from?
So why are y'all so proud of Peoria?
Man, Peoria has shaped, I will say, I can speak for everybody, man. It shaped all of us. It made us who we are. And I'm proud to be from Peoria. Like, it doesn't matter, man, like from the basketball standpoint, just from like everything. I think Peoria dresses well. I think that, we're tough-skinned people. We're hard-working people. Our back, has been against the wall. Even if you look at sports, you look at like the whole state of Illinois, right? For the most part, Chicago, you would think, would be the most dominant in basketball, right? Well, for years, Peoria just ran the table, man.
I've heard.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, I mean, because of that, I feel like we worked hard, we earned everything that we have. So that makes a Peoria person so proud because we work for it. It's not given. We just hard-working people, man.
I mean, along with that, to be as small as we are, like, we put our foot in this. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, prime example, the real originator of what I would say comedy to me, Richard Pryor, this is where he's from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I saw the statue,
it don't really get no bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he brought certain things to the comedy era that, people wasn't doing in them times, and he wasn't scared. And where he get that from? He got that from his hometown.
Peoria.
You know what I'm saying? So why, we put Peoria on our back, so that's just how I am.
Now, being an outsider looking in, there's...
See that Richard Pryor right there?
You have to tat it all up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I
think they got at the museum, the Riverfront Museum. They got a thing going right now with them where they got it from his daughter or something.
Yep.
Or something they gave her. Just random shout out, the good people's over there. But There's one thing I've noticed since moving here. Peoria has a big heart.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
I've been meeting a lot of cats, a lot of people, like your Becky Rossums, your Hetty Elliott's, your Carl Holloways, Marcel Somerville, all these people of different walks of life, trying to get back to the community as much as possible.
Right, most definitely.
Now you guys are taking a different route with it. You going with the fashion side,
Right, yes sir.
So what's the impact y'all trying to imprint on this community? Pun intended, because of the imprinting.
Especially with the hoodie sneaker ball. We could have just made it about us, you know what I mean, and just said, we're going to put our clothes out there and just focus on our business. But what we did was when we sat down at Starbucks, shout out to Starbucks.
They don't pay my bills, no. Please do. No.
Yeah, we need a sponsor. So basically, we sat down and we were like, you know what? Let's bring other people in, other business in, other like small businesses who are trying to get rolling. Let's bring them in as vendors, and we can mingle and put these minds together and bring everyone in so we can shop, have the day party, and also dress, because Peoria, we like to dress to impress.
I've been seeing a lot of fedoras. I'm like, I don't stick out. I like those.
So basically, that's what it was about. Bringing everyone together, not just us, because we love what we're doing. You know what I mean? But sometimes it takes other people to motivate you. You know what I mean? So maybe these other vendors will be more motivated, and they can put some things together and invite us. You know what I mean? So iron sharpens iron. So that's how we look at it.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to organizing this ball, like how'd you guys get the momentum going? Were you just reaching out to certain individuals?
I mean, really, it didn't even. All it took was just us to put ourselves together, and then put Integrity Wear, Golden Garments together, and be like, hey, look, this is what we doing, this is what we hosting, and everybody just kind of jumped on board. They was with it, you know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I will say, about Peoria. Like you said, we got a big heart, you know what I'm saying? So we come together on certain things, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't. I can't just say it's always love, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it is a lot of love, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing we drive on, and that's what we drove off of. That's
Most
our
definitely.
motivation. We drove off the love of what we get from, the town, and what, other people want to do. So, we put our stuff together, and they're like, hey, yeah, we want to be a part of that. You know
Most
what I'm saying?
definitely.
So,
Take pride in where you're from,
absolutely.
and then put that heart out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what part of town are you guys originally from?
We both born. I'm born on the South End. I'm a South End guy, but I was raised on the East, East Bluff or whatever. But definitely born on the South End. Actually Warner Homes, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, definitely Warner Homes. R.I.P. to Warner Homes, man.
I see. I've heard a lot of things, a lot of mixed stories of East Bluff, that it's very underfunded.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That there's a lot missing in the neighborhood.
Right.
From where you guys, when you guys originally were growing up, raised in the area, how have you seen it kind of?
Man, that's like you said. I'm born and raised on the south end of Peoria, not far from where we at now. So, it's just, man, it's a lot of vacant lots from a lot of houses being torn down. It just it just seemed like, especially at nighttime, it's just black. It just seemed different. It just seemed like kind of like a dead zone. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't. I don't like it. That's kind of a reason to why our hoodie sneaker ball, we bring it back kind of towards to South End, Carver, you know what I'm saying? Because this is where the stuff originated from, you know what I'm saying? This is where we was born and raised at. So, this is kind of where we wanted to give it back to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I done seen the transition to, man, it's just not the best right now.
Yeah.
So
It's unfortunate when you see somewhere that you take a lot of pride and kind of go down. Like I've seen that.
Oh, for sure.
Where I'm at, Chicago, I've seen the neighborhoods kind of evolve and devolve and just the change. How have you guys kind of handle that as being somebody that's so proud from where you're at, seeing the change throughout the years?
Well, I still go. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not there every day, but my family's spread throughout, Peoria. So you might catch me on the East Bus, South End, on the north end of town. I'm, and pretty much I can go everywhere. Because I've always been like a sociable person. I can mingle with anyone. You know what I mean? I'm just always been just true to myself. And just a social person, man, so there's not a place in Peoria I can't go. I'm not saying in a way that like a braggadocious way, but I feel like when you give off good energy to people, they receive it, and you receive it from them as well. So when
you walk in your light, you protect it.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean? Do you guys feel like you're walking in your light right now?
Yeah.
Like this is what you're supposed to be doing?
Most definitely, most definitely. It's just a start.
Yeah, definitely just a start.
How many stumbles it took you to finally feel at peace?
I mean, I can't give a I can't give a number, but I've definitely had a lot of stumbles. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I don't even call them stumbles. I call them, like I said, lessons. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not losses. Anything that you go through, you're going to have to learn from that in order to not do it again. So that's why it's a lesson and never a loss. You know what I'm saying?
So Flacko, what you saying that? What do you think is your biggest lesson you learned to date?
Today?
To date, like up till now, your entire life.
The biggest lesson I've learned is
or today. I know that's a good one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the biggest lesson I've learned to date is consistency. You got to stay consistent with what you're doing. Like, you can't let nobody else outside and what they say. You just got to keep doing it, because like I said, my main thing is if you can get one person to like it, you can get 100. It's just going to take 99 more times to do it.
It's gonna take time.
So, yeah, that's just consistency is key. So,
what about you, Mario?
My biggest lesson in life so far?
Yeah.
I just feel like, man, I would probably say my biggest lesson in life would be just how my mom raised me. You know what I mean? Like, I beat the odds, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I graduated from college. Young black man coming out of Peoria. I played basketball, football, ran track. Had a basketball scholarship, had a football scholarship, turned that down, ended up playing basketball. Short story, my dad was murdered in Peoria, 1999.
Man, my condolences.
So, that would make a young man go crazy, right?
That could have taken you down a dark path.
And so basically, I feel like I beat the odds because you could lose your mind in a situation like that.
How did you?
Well, it was times where I did, to be honest. You know what I mean? It was times where I just felt like I wanted to give up. Not give up on life, but like just give up and quit. Like far as going to school and different things like that. But my mom pushed me. My grandmother, rest in peace, she pushed me. My sister, my uncles, aunts, they just continue to put love into me, man, and just like intervene when they see me getting low. Yeah, so
I've heard like my grandmother passed away from cancer. This is one of the reasons why I reached out to you guys. Cause I have to talk to him.
Right.
Because going through something like that and you experiencing, having cancer in the family and just, with the newly diagnosed. And just, my mom said when she lost her mother, she changed. And she can't pinpoint how, but things changed. She's no longer the same individual. Did you also feel that when you lost your father?
Well, he was murdered though, but I think the difference, I felt that. I did change, you know what I mean? It was probably one of the hardest things. To go back to answer what you said, that was my biggest loss or biggest lesson was that, because I was 17 years old and I'm, transforming into a man, and you still, you need that guidance from a man to push you, you know what I mean? So I felt like, at that point in time is where I needed him the most in my life. I needed him when I was 12, 13, 10, growing up. But at 17, you really need him. And I felt like I lost him, at a vulnerable time in my life. You know what I mean? So it was times where I was in college. I'm like, man, I don't even want to be here, man. I think my turning point, and a lot of people don't know this, is my mom was cleaning up one day and start removing stuff. And academically, I stopped caring about school. So my mom found a letter that he had wrote, and he was that person that would always write things ahead of time. So he wrote the letter and was saying he was proud of me for graduating from high school, and he knows I'm gonna be great in college. So she gave that to me. Moms know they have that discernment, man. So she brought it to me in school, and it broke me down. And after that, I was like, man, you know what? I gotta do it for him.
That was a message from the heavens.
Yeah, it was. So it was at a vulnerable moment too.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if she just kept it from me, to give it to me at that right moment.
When you need it.
But that was the turning point for those who didn't know. That's what turned me around in college.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's been multiple people I've talked to, and Flacko, I'm going to ask you next, but there have been moments, and there was a moment in my life where I felt like God reached out to me.
Most definitely.
And there was a moment where I could have gone a certain way because of my anxiety and when I had depression and just being lost in the world. It's I can relate to that. I'm like, damn. Going through that that moment where you're like, I'm lost. And then God's like, nah, I got you. Come on. Don't worry.
Sure.
He pops into you a message like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
That's intense. Flacko, what about you, man? Did you ever have that moment?
I to say to have the moment, I can't just recall a moment. I could say I had a time in life though, definitely, and it was when my grandmother died. When my grandmother passed, it was like now it's time to, you know, because my grandparents was the rock of our family. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the rock, literally. That's you know, I don't know. That's where Golden Garments come from. Golden is my grandparents' last name. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So that's where the Golden Garments even come from. See what I'm saying?
You took inspiration. I'm like,
definitely,
all right.
definitely. Because the thing is, I'm going to leave something to my kids and stuff that you're going to have, that you're going to be proud of. And like, you know, my grandparents are proud of. I know they're proud of it now, just to see me doing what I'm doing. But when my grandmother died, you know what I'm saying, that was what gave me, like, I gotta, you know, because I actually went, you know, the other route, but at the same time I was, you know, financially getting, you know, stable, you know what I'm saying, until, you know, I hit a path where I went to jail. But when she died, that was just where I had to basically become a man, because my dad, you know, he was locked up until I was 16, you know what I'm saying, ever since from when I was 8 months old. So, you know, I didn't really have a man in my life, you know what I'm saying. My grandfather, I had him, but he died when I was like 15. So after that, it was like, you know, we're, like he said, just like with him, where I'm gonna go. I don't have that man to, you know, when I'm transitioning to a man. So it's like my grandmother, she was tough as nails though. She was the man, and you know, she was the man, she was the female, she was the mom, she was the dad, she was everything to everybody.
She held it down.
She held it down. So, you know, she gave me that, you know, that inspiration. Like you said, I got that, you know, Alice Golden, Abby Golden, tatted. You know what I'm saying? It's on the arm, because every time I get down and I know. And
I respect that so much, man.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, you said you had kids, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Until when you had kids, did you kind of understand what it meant to be the rock of a family? Is that when it, like, you're like... That's
when it really, because when you see how your kids look at you, and you know, that you mean so much to them, that's what had me like, wow, you know, this is how I looked at my grandparents, you know. Man, it's a different feel. It makes you gotta level up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a choice. You have to level up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Some people don't, but with me, it's without a doubt. I have to. You know what I'm saying?
You both have kids? You also?
Yes, I have 4. I have a 20-year-old, a 14-year-old, 9 and 7.
Yeah, I got 4 myself.
I always like to ask this question to fathers, because God willing, I have that privilege to be a dad one day. Mm-hmm. How is that, man? Oh, man. Like, how much stress take me there? Because I want to be a dad one day. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Like, I hope I'm blessed with it.
It's amazing, man. You know, when you come in the house from work and they run up to you, man, or like my oldest son, he's 20. He's the one that's 20. So, you know, when you get that text or that call, like, hey, Dad, I miss you, man, that's just like, that's the greatest feeling on earth, man. There's nothing better than that, man. Yeah.
You guys are like problem solvers for family now.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Like he said, you know, see, I get the, like, texts and different, like, the call or something, especially, like, right now, to, like, if I would wish to, okay, yeah, I send this to the group, because I got a group chat with my girls, because I got 3 girls and a boy. So I send this to the group chat with my girls, and they are, you know, Dad, I'm so proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You did a complete 360. You, like, you know, that's the best feeling ever. Like I said, this is what I do it for, because, like, to hear them say, man, we proud of you, like, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from where I came from to now.
For sure.
We proud of you. Oh, yeah, that's, man. Like, they was proud whatever I did. They was proud when I was doing bad, honestly, but to hear that and, like, you know, to see me in a good light, it's even better. You know what I'm saying? And
to see the bounce back.
Yeah, I felt like I owed them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So we were saying off the mic how you're giving back to the community, right? But in essence, you're also giving back to the family.
Absolutely.
You're showing them that an individual can change.
Absolutely.
Individual can grow. They can empower themselves. Mm-hmm. Like, how does it feel when someone looks at you and be like, man, you ain't the same. You ain't how I remember you.
Right. And the thing is with that is, you're right. I'm not going to be this. Each day I'm going to change, because the thing is, each day I'm going to learn something new that I didn't know yesterday. So to hear them say, "Oh, you've changed." Yeah, I have. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people know I ain't changed. No, I have. You know, I had to come into that realization. Yes, I have. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't for no bad thing. It's for some good things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So, who have been some of your biggest mentors throughout your life, outside of family members?
Outside of family members, I have like a couple of my best friends. You know, I call them my brothers though. They motivate me. You know, we sharpen each other. Ryan Richmond. You know, we grew up as brothers. He lives in Atlanta. He actually he has a lot of businesses as well. He actually has 2 businesses in Atlanta, Georgia. Ola Idris, Antron Evans. You know, they my, you would say friends, but we throw that title out. We brothers. You know what I mean? My kids call him uncle. You know, different things like that. And Aaron Pankey. These are my brothers. You know what I mean? So basically, man, we just sharpen each other. My cousin Ray. You know, we just look, man. We positive. We there for each other. You know, we family. We want to see each other win in life. We want to see each other be happy. We just want to send positive vibes, man. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, what's life if you can't make it a little bit happier for somebody else?
Absolutely.
You know, there's this saying that my grams always used to say in Spanish, Dime con quién andas, diré quién eres. Tell me who you with, I'm going to tell you who you are.
Right,
have you seen that in your life?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Because I've had to change my scene a couple times in life because, you know, growing up as a man, you just kind of make your decisions and you got to live with them.
Yeah. Definitely.
But as you're living, you're growing, you're learning, you're kind of cultivating this entire
Also,
atmosphere.
for me, too, I've been married almost 17 years, so
17 years.
yeah, almost 17, man. So my wife,
How?
yeah, for real. My wife, she sharpens me. I've grown up, you know what I mean? Like, I would say, like, I'm not the same person I was when I first got married. You know, you grow up, you get older, you start to mature.
What's the biggest change?
I just feel like I put my family first in everything now. Like, at some point, it was like my career. You know, I would think like, oh, man, I got to go do this or do that. You know, you have times with your friends. And that's fine and dandy. That's cool. I enjoy it, but I enjoy being with my wife and kids. You know, on a Friday night, you know, it's good for me just to watch Netflix and have some snacks with the family. I'm saying,
Create the memories.
there's nothing wrong with hanging with your friends. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy being with my family more. You know,
creating core memories with them that they're always going to remember.
But yeah, for sure, I enjoy that. Like, that's, to me, there's nothing better. On a Saturday night, we have like sleeping bags. I order everybody sleeping bags, and we get in the sleeping bags. We get popcorn, watching movies. That's amazing, man. Because I would say I didn't get that a lot growing up from my dad. My mom, you know, we did great things like that. My mom was amazing, is amazing. So, you know, we had that. You know, but it's different when it's coming from your dad. You know what I mean? It's 2 different parts. You know, your mom is your mom, your dad's your dad. You know, so it's. My mom was more of a nurturer, but you need that tough love too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember every Friday night back in Chicago, my pops and I would watch, it was called Solo Boxeo, Azteca Boxing out of Cicero. And he would get a pizza, he'd get a 6-pack, I'd get a soda, and we just sit there. And it's a core memory. Like, I remember it. Like,
sure.
And this is something you're creating with your kids.
Oh, man, I love it. I enjoy it. So even actually with my business, so I pay my kids. So when I get like shipments in and things like that, when it's time to like package them up, I tell my daughters, and my son, he's 7, so he's starting to get into it now. I'm like, hey, y'all want to make some money?
Yeah.
So I have them do things. I enjoy that bonding time, you know.
And you're instilling good.
For sure.
How to earn something. What's the right terminology for it? You're instilling good knowledge.
Most definitely.
Work ethics.
Yes,
work
there we go.
Yeah. Nothing's free.
Yep.
So, but they work for
everything. Yep, you got to work for everything. Installing work ethic at a young age is very important, especially now because with all the electronics and stuff, that's, you know what I'm saying. Like you gotta get these kids and get them outside and get them active. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, he's definitely installing great work ethic. You know, that's the same thing I do. You like if I ain't gonna say if because you speak everything into existence. So when I become a millionaire off of the clothing line, it ain't just that I'm gonna give my kids everything. No, you're gonna work. You're gonna show me that you can maintain this because I'm not gonna give it to you because everything I've given you, you already got enough of, which is the love, which is the hustle, and everything in me. You got it. So that's all you need. You don't need the actual physical monies to say, "Oh, I got it." No, you're gonna work for it. So
Gotta work for it.
Yeah,
Are there any lessons that you learned in life that you wish you learned a little bit sooner?
Life, period. Man, life, period. No, for real. Like,
Because
life,
there's a
period.
huge, within the last 10 years, you know, the mental health aspect of minority men, especially black and brown.
Right.
There's this entire new thing where we're like, all right, we got to give these men an opportunity to understand what they're feeling.
Right.
Did you have any struggles with that growing up with everything?
I mean, you know, being young, you really don't, you know, being a kid, especially, you know, in our age groups right now, because we're older, you know, you didn't key into a lot of stuff that we look at now and we pay attention and know, you know, to what we're installing our kids. But, I mean, like I said, as a kid with us, we ain't have too much worries. We rode bikes, you know what I'm saying? We rode bikes, we played outside.
Street lights come on, you running back in.
Yeah, we went back home, you know what I'm saying? We'll ride our bikes, though. Like, he said he'll stay on the hill, but I'll see Mark because I'll ride my bike up there.
Heck
He'll
yeah.
ride his bike down the hill. You know what I'm saying? We didn't, at them times, you know, your moms and stuff, they didn't know where you really was at. They just know, like you said, the street lights come on, you better be home.
You better be
And
home.
we made that. But, yeah, we'll be cross town, though. You know what I'm saying?
But you'll make it.
We definitely going to make it,
I'm
though.
gonna make it for sure.
Definitely going to make that street light.
Definitely
though.
making it.
But, yeah, so...
That's awesome, man. It's amazing to hear the story of somebody else that, you know, two different perspectives, you know, where you guys are family, but you've had different lives. You've experienced a whole lot of things, but you guys still, seemingly from the outside in, have good hearts. And you're trying
for
to
sure.
instill positivity and
Definitely.
empowerment into the community.
Definitely.
Like, that's kind of dope, man, when you think about it. Like, no matter what you've been through, y'all still got good hearts.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, man.
Like, how's that feel to still carry a good heart no matter all the trauma y'all seen?
Now with that, you know, I'll say, because I start with that, because like I said, everything that I went through, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I could, man, especially like I said, prison, everything, that right there alone can make you come out a cold person, you know what I'm saying? And in some ways I have that I am still trying to correct, you know, but ultimately, I mean, you know, my heart is definitely good, and that's all that matters to me. You know, God knows where I'm at with my heart, and that you know, so I feel like, you know, as long as I put out good, I think good is gonna come in. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, I got a heart of gold to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
For real.
It's dope, man. I like saying it. Like, with this podcast, I'm able to see many different perspectives, different people that have been through things, people that are seeing trauma now currently in the community and how they handle it. Like Becky Rossum, where she deals with Peoria Community Against Violence.
Right.
So are there some things you're seeing that you hope the community can improve on from your perspective?
I think it's a lot the community could improve on. But I also will say it's accountability. You know what I mean? Just because I grew up on the South End and Ray grew up on the South End doesn't mean that I can go out there and just, you know, be damaging to people's lives and stealing cars and different things like that. And I often hear people say, well, they don't know no better. Everyone knows better. You wouldn't steal the car. You know what I mean? You wouldn't sneak and do it. You just would walk out and start stealing like it was grand theft. But at the end of the day, we have to all look at ourselves. And you can't blame the parents every time, because I know some kids who had great parents.
Right. Yep.
And they just chose to make just horrible decisions.
Yeah.
But it's accountability. At some point, we as people have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, man, I need to do better.
Yeah.
I can do better. I should be doing better. A prime example is that on most streets that you ride down now, we all have witnessed that people are holding signs up saying, I will work for food, or I will do anything for a few dollars. Well, also when you ride down the streets, every business have up signs that says, help wanted. So why aren't you getting a job? But you rather beg and ask someone to give you something instead of you working for it. This generation now, I call it the microwave generation. They want it now. They don't want to work. These kids at 14, 15, 16, they think school is boring. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to work. They want to sit on social media. They want to be on YouTube. They want to do the things that does not really speak to the core of life. Like at 14, 15, I knew how to make a job resume. I knew how to do all these different things. These kids, they have all the access to everything. I mean, tablets. My son is 7. He can show you how to use an iPhone. But
I got nieces right now who can unlock my phone. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I be creating my own password. Like,
so they have more technology and access to things that we did, but they're lazier because of that. You know what I mean?
Technology just made us lazy in a way.
Man, you're not
Most
lying.
definitely.
It's funny that you said that because this is the thing that I've did to my girls like for some years is just testing them always. Now we know we got these $1,000 electronics in our hand that can do anything.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you want. So I always ask them. I always blah blah. Hey, how you get to Bloomington? And they have their phone. I wait till they playing with the phone. I'm like, how you get to Bloomington? And they look at me and say, I don't know. I just be like, I said, that's crazy. I done did it to them like for a month straight. And then I finally broke down and I told them, I said, you know why I kept it? Because they like, why you always ask me that? I said, you know why I asked you that? Because you have the tool in your hand to solve what you need.
Right there.
But you don't even take the time. You know what I'm saying? It's making you lazier. Like you said, it's making you lazier. Because you got it right there. All you gotta do is Google it. It's in there.
Crazy.
And it's gonna show you. It's gonna tell you how to get to Bloomington. But you never took the time out to even think about it because you're so lazy to do on TikTok or whatever it is that you're doing. Now mind you, I ain't gonna know these kids are they're very smarter than we are with these technologies you know, and with these electronics. But the thing is you're not using it for the right cause. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it comes back to being consistent and working hard,
Absolutely,
what you said earlier in the interview.
Yeah.
So it's just, it feels like, because I'm a millennial, man, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like we're in a completely different era in life.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like, things are just very different.
They are.
You find yourself kind of, because I find myself now that I'm a little bit older where I'm like, I feel out of place some days.
I mean, out of place a little sometimes because like I'm the kind of person where I feel like I say I say it on some of my social media posts, like I just don't fit in with everybody. But that's only because of how people, how people are these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, me and Mark, I can kick it with Cuz for however long because we're similar. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be just alike. Nobody is just alike. Right. But we are very similar. We have some of the same similar attributes. We we're both grinding for one cause. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can come and we can mix and match versus being with somebody else that they just have a whole miserable negative vibe. No, I can't get out with that. I just can't.
Yeah.
So that's where I say that's where I don't fit in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not with this. But that's why I stay in my lane and with the people that I like Cuz and different people. That's why I stay with.
That's it.
The people that match my vibe. That's
your mantra, the way you live your life.
Absolutely.
Tell me who you with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of fitting in, as somebody that I'm coming up on a year here in Peoria, I moved back in April. You guys are Peoria strong. P-Town versus everybody.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
What's something you want people that are not native to Peoria to understand the beauty of this community, of the town, of the city you guys love so much?
It's a loving town, like you said, hardworking town. Growing up, man, we had so many good memories here, like the Gus Mackers to Bradley basketball.
What's Gus Mackers?
Gus Macker was a 3-on-3 tournament. We actually had the biggest 3-on-3 tournament for years in the country.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man. I'm talking about amazing.
Right outside this building.
Yeah. Sean Livingston played in it. Frank Williams, Sergio McClain, A.J. Guyton.
Howard Nathan. David
Booth.
Yeah.
Wait,
Derek Booth.
What? I did not know all this.
Yeah. It was amazing. I'm talking about this whole downtown area was just
yeah, all of this was just full, just basketball going on. Flooded. 2 days.
This past weekend, it was Bradley against who was
Drake.
it?
Drake.
Yeah.
And it was sold out.
Oh, that's Bradley basketball,
Bradley
man.
basketball.
Yeah.
Everybody, it was a sea of red. Even afterwards, I seen everybody just like, Bradley, and just screaming, having a great time. I'm like, oh, snap.
Look,
like,
Peoria
this town
is a
alive.
basketball town.
Yes.
Bradley, man.
I got told Jordan came down here and played a couple pickup games every now and then.
Yeah, he played in the he had like 2 games here.
Yeah.
Like that's intense when you think about it. Like,
it
yo,
is.
The icon MJ came down here.
Yeah.
You got Sean Livingston, who is well known.
Sean is man, one of the most humble guys you ever meet, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I've heard a lot of great stories about him.
Look, Sean comes in town, man, and he does things for like people, like who don't have money and different things like that. He gives back so much, man, and you'll never see it in the paper because he don't want it in the paper. He just like love giving back to. He's a proud Peorian, man.
That's amazing to see. Like somebody that was able to grow up in this community, as you guys are, trying your best to give back as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you have to admire individuals that do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I love collecting these stories because I'm like, okay. Like, for me, growing up Southside Chicago, I'll be dead ass honest with y'all. When I got the job here in Peoria, I'm like, where's Peoria? You know what I mean? With no offense, I had no idea.
Right, yeah.
I'm driving past 55, the windmills. I'm like, where am I going? But then a year later, I'm like, damn, this place feels like home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the people. People like y'all, other people I've talked to, my friends in town that make this place feel like a home.
Right. Welcomes you.
Yeah.
Definitely welcomes you. Yep.
That's crazy because I had no idea how welcoming Peoria can actually be.
And I know you saving money from living in Peoria versus Chicago, right?
Man.
I
ain't counting my nickels, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit better, brother. You know
definitely see that difference, though. Definitely.
So Peoria is a town that's got a big heart, man. What else we got that you guys seen that you admire?
Food,
about
man. We have good food.
Definitely.
Oh, I've experienced that. I gained a couple pounds moving here.
You got. I don't know if you like wings, but you got like Rum Burgers. You got Juniors, man. Avantis. I mean,
I've yet to try Avantis.
Wonder Dogs.
We even got like local cooks, like people that
just cook out the house and stuff, man.
Man, tell them, invite me to cook out. I'm dead. I break the cheese.
Man, that's some of the best food, man, to be honest.
I mean, man, like you could put them in a restaurant and, man, you can't go wrong. Yeah. But, we got, we like, Peoria got a lot of talent here, man. That's we got
like musically, we got so many dope rap artists, man.
Well, I have not hit that scene yet. I need y'all to put me on that scene.
I'll give you some artists, man.
Okay.
Please do. I'd love to talk to him. Like, I met Titus Whitus.
Yep.
I met that cat. I hadn't known about him prior, and I started looking to him like, oh, all right,
man,
cool.
you need to get up on like Romy Martini and Trey. They have a group they call the Kennedy Brothers.
Send them my way.
Man, you got Cleveland Titan, King Perp. He just dropped the album, matter of fact. And I don't want to short anybody, but my little cousin Marlon M. Young. It's so many people, man. That's just a short list. You got the Goonies, man. Like, I'm talking about dudes
It's a long list, man.
These dudes could be having record deals, man. Everybody's listening. I'm not trying to short anybody. I know we got a story to do, but we have a lot of artists that you need to get in touch with, man.
I would love to. I need the community
artist, period.
I need the community to just start pushing people my way so I can check it out. Because like everybody has a story.
Right. Yeah.
You two specifically have different stories.
Yeah.
But the love you have for the community is what's pushing. You have Golden Garments and Integrity Wear. So Integrity Wear is you?
Yes.
Yeah. So we learned how you got Golden Garments. Now, Mario, how'd you get Integrity Wear?
So in 2004, when I graduated from college, I was going to work at Caterpillar. Well, Caterpillar was going through like a little, I don't know if it was like a little layoff or they were going through changes. And so my aunt's best friend named Sharon Kramer, she retired like 2 years ago from the Peoria County. Well, she, hey, we have a job, you can put in for it, and I think you'd be good at it. It was being at the Juvenile Detention Center, being a youth supervisor counselor. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to work. I just graduated 2 hours ago. Literally, it was on a Sunday. I just graduated, just walked across the stage. My mom was like, oh, no, you're going to put in for that. Because it was like 38,000, 35,000, something like that, somewhere in there. And I was only 21, 22. I'm like, all right, so I did it. Had the interview. My grandma and we did my resume, like fixed it up a little bit better, tuned it up. And by, I think, Thursday or Friday, I was working. And so I'm like, dang, 2 years removed. My cousin Khalif Ross, he lives in Texas now. He was like, man, why don't you come to the prison? I'm like, man, I ain't working no prison. I'm going to Caterpillar, man. He was like, man, you can start out making this much. I was like, man, where the applications at?
Sign me up, man.
So I did that. So basically, 19 years later, I'm still in law enforcement. I'm actually a counselor at the federal prison in Pekin. So I enjoy what I do, man. To be honest with you, I just love working with people. I'm a sociable person, man. I love fixing problems. I love just being there. You know what I mean? It's a good setting. At the end of the day, every inmate is not a bad person, man. I don't know. They have a misconception about, what it is. And I love hearing the good stories. Like when you get like a message or you run into somebody like, there's guys from Peoria that's been, in prison. And I love seeing that story, the people that have changed, who own businesses now, who are good fathers, they just made a mistake. And at the end of the day, everyone walking this earth has made a mistake.
Of course.
I'm not a judgmental person. It is what it is. I don't like to judge people. I just want to see a change,
What are some beautiful stories you've experienced? As
far as out there, it's one guy that was there. He's written 3 books. And when he was there, he was, labeled as, a guy that wasn't going to be successful. He got a time cut. Now he's 3 books.
Really?
Yeah. Then it was another guy. Obviously I can't say their names, but
of course not.
He's working for like the Supreme Court.
Really?
Yeah. He's like doing big things.
That's amazing to see, man.
So everyone's there is not bad. I work with some good people. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Work with some bad people. Every job has good people, bad people. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I pride myself on being me. I don't change. I don't conform to whoever I'm working with. If it's somebody who I don't want to work with, I'm still going to be me. You know what I mean? And I hope that my energy, the way that I am, is infectious and it gives off good vibes. But I'm just there, to give off good vibes, man, to be an inspiration to people, especially a lot of guys that are in prison are, like you and I, brown,
Black, brown, yeah.
So when they see a guy, walk in like me, I want to give them hope that, you could be something too, because I could have made the wrong decision, and I could have been in there, just as well. So I don't judge them. I just want to see them do better.
So how is that duality for you, being a minority man that also works within the system?
Oh, it's rough, man, because, if you don't go in there and you don't do things or say things the way that they want you to, oh, you're one of them. You know what I mean? When really that's not the truth. I'm just here to do my job. I'm not here to judge anybody. You know what I mean? It's not my job to judge you. It's my job, as they say, to reform, to help reform you as a person. So
help guide you in a way.
Help guide you.
Yeah.
Now, is there some people there who are horrible? Yeah. But it's not my call to judge them on that. It's my job to be professional. And when a person's not professional, then you have to do what you have to do. You know what I mean? Respect my job, and I'm going to respect you as a person. Then if you do that, it go hand in hand, then you all good.
Were there some lessons you learned while doing this job for how many years you said now? 17
years.
17 years. Yeah. So are there some important life lessons you learned while working this gig that you now implement in your daily life?
I think, to be honest with you, I have good things and bad things I would say about it. Like, the good thing is, it has provided for my family. You know what I mean? I can retire early. I'm going to retire before I'm 50 years old. I'll be retired.
Congratulations, man.
But also, I have seen so much. I've seen so much, though, that, it has changed my perception of life. I'll be out in public, and I'm constantly looking around. You know what I mean? Looking around it. When I walk in, a room always looking like an exit. How can I get up out of here?
You keep your head on a swivel.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I got taught that early on. I made my mistake.
And I've seen so much that it'll make you look at life differently. You know what I mean? You got to think of conversation I have with people who have life sentences. So the conversation I have with them is not like a conversation I would have with you. What's minor to you is major to them. Like a picture of your old car. You might be like, man, that's an old dusty car. To them, man, that's my first car, man. It's serious. Don't touch my picture. Yeah. So you have to be understanding when you work a job like that. Not saying you give in, but you have to be understanding if you're in law enforcement, how things can go.
Well, the psychological aspect of it is that's a connection to a time prior to where they are now. Before, not to pick pennies on them, but it's like, prior to the decisions that were made that led you to where you are, this reminds you of a time where you had your freedom.
Yeah.
And if you touch that, that's like you trying to remove that one thing that still gives you hope.
Yeah. I would say, if I could share this story, I won't say the guy's name, but when I worked at the juvenile detention center, it was a guy who he committed murder. Right? He was a young man at the time. Well, I would speak to him often, talk to him, encourage him, and different things like that, because at the end of the day, who am I to tell him, what he should be, that he should give up in life? My job as a counselor at that time was to be encouraging, to tell him, hey, you did mess up, but you need to start doing this now, for redemption, to do better, to change the narrative for yourself, because now you got to live to make yourself better, because you're going to do some time. You deserve to do some time, not taking that away. But while I was working at the prison, since I've been working there, I received a phone call from an anonymous person that worked at the JDC and said, hey, you got a letter from somebody. Well, the guy wrote a letter to me explaining that, thanking me for, having conversation with him, because it was times that he wanted to kill himself. But I will always come at the right time and talk to him, and he thinks about those conversations, often. So just imagine, man, you never know when you're working those type of jobs, like what type of day a person's having. And that go for staff too, because I work with people. You never know what a person's going through at home as well. So I try to be, conscious of that as well. Like my staff that I work with, you never know what somebody going through. It's a tough job,
it's
man.
like, has it taught you, and maybe you live vicariously through his experiences, but small things matter hugely to some
Man.
people.
Absolutely.
100%.
Like that, like when you wrap your mind around that small concept, it can be as simple as a picture.
Right,
it can be as simple as you tapping somebody's shoulder when they're thinking they're about to take their life.
Yeah.
And that changes everything.
I mean, I can go even in depth to what he's talking about, because it's kind of funny. Like, Cuz is a correctional, he's in the correctional field, been an officer and everything for all the years. I've been in the correctionals being an inmate. So when he speaks and says about the smallest things, I'm going to give you an incident to, I did 5 years. So it's roughly over 1,000 and some days. Like, when I got out and first touched some money, that was like, man, because I hadn't touched money in 5 years. That was like something. I hadn't opened a refrigerator in 5 years. I haven't struck a lighter in 5 years. Like, people don't know what that really kind of like what it means. Like, it's like, man, like it's amazing. It's kind of like an amazing thing to a person. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Just
it's
to be
not
able to
something,
like pick your own clothes that day too.
Exactly, because it's like something that you ain't done in so long. So that's why it's so like it's looked at as minor, but no, it's major to somebody because you done took they done had it took away from them for so long.
Like commissary and stuff like that, man, that's serious for them.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
For me and you, I'm like, man, I forget me some McDonald's, man. To them, they're like, you eat McDonald's?
Right.
Yeah. Man, what does it taste like? You know what I'm saying?
Chicken tender?
For real.
Yeah. Like,
But let me ask you this, Flacko, like mentally that you were locked up for 1,000+ years or 1,000+ days, right?
Right.
And then now you're giving your freedom, and the individual I get to meet today, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right.
You're very calm. You're very chill, very respectful. You have a lot of passion for this community.
Right.
If you didn't go into this, I wouldn't have known you were locked up for that amount of time.
Right.
So getting that freedom back, how was that mentally for you, man?
Man, it means everything, because like it's basically like being secluded. Kind of like how we are in here, being secluded. Just think about being in here 1,000 days or so with a person telling you when to move here, when to move there. Okay, it's lights out. You can't go here. Oh, you do this. It's just you got to think about it like that. So mentally, like it could break a person, but with me, that was like the strengthening, because at the end of the day, you can control the body, but you can't control the mind. So that's always been my thing. You can't control my mind. So you thinking, you winning by controlling the body, but I'm learning, because I'm learning I'm learning how to deal with this. So then when I do hit the world, I'm hands down and running. And that's why I'm calm now. Even in there I was calm, and they like just how you just said, like you could never tell that me being in there, it was my first time ever going to jail. You know what I'm saying? But the officers like, man, what bit, and what I mean by bit, they mean which bit, basically, like I said, which prison stint are you on? Meaning 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I'm like, no, this is my first time. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what?
You were
Like,
too calm and collected, and they were like,
it's
nah,
they
this is
just weren't used to
before.
it. Like, man, you done this before. But I was like, I was already prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? I was already prepared mentally for it. So
It's interesting that we kind of have a yin and yang here with both of y'all.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I understand both sides, man. Like I said, man. Like I feel like I get along, and I'm respected there because I can understand. You know what I mean? I know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like I was never in the streets. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. I'm not gonna say like I was in the streets, but I'm from the south end of Peoria. I was raised on the East Bluff. I was around this stuff growing up.
Yeah.
It wasn't, so it's not foreign to me. So what's major to another person? Like, oh my gosh, he got shot. I've seen somebody get shot before. You from Chicago. You seen it. I'm not encouraging it, but I've seen it. I've seen fights. I've seen all this stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of that stuff growing
all
up.
that thing,
So I feel like that's what makes me good at my job because I've experienced, and I know how to deal with every race. I've encountered the good, the bad.
Everything.
You know, racist people who not racist. You know, people who are poor, people who are rich. I've been around all facets of life, so it's easy for me to do my job because I can understand what they're telling me. When I talk to them, I'm like, well, why did you do, what you did? And they explain it to me. I don't just cut you off and say, man, that was dumb, because everybody has a reason of what they do, you know what I mean? So I just, okay, I understand. I'm like, all right, I may not agree with it. In my mind, I might be like, man, that was dumb. But who am I to judge? I don't know, why he, did he get down to his last $2? Is that why he stole some money? Is that why he robbed a bank? I don't know.
We all got crosses we carry.
We all have
got
crosses,
trauma we've seen. We've all experienced failures and moments where we felt like success was right around the corner on our fingertips.
For
I know
sure.
there have been moments in my life where I'm like, that job's mine.
Right.
Oh, me and this girl going distance.
Right.
Wow, wow. Oh, no, my Graham's going to come out. She's going to be good. But 4 months later, gone.
For sure.
Definitely.
There's a lot of moments in life that we've experienced personally, and there's other people that have gone through a lot of things, and you're just like, damn, I admire people like both of y'all. Y'all been through a lot, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I kind of knew this is how the interview was going to go, the podcast, this conversation was going to go, because I felt like there was more to y'all's story. I'm like, I got to pry into that.
And I work with some people that has been like life changing, man, who have been like very inspirational in my life. You know what I mean? I've met so many good officers, so many good people, man. I've had a good experience, man, at my job. I've had bad experience as well. But like we spoke about earlier, every loss is a lesson for me. So the good that come with it, I accept it. The bad that come with it, I accept it. I just learn from it and move on.
When it comes to this is my saying when it comes to that, because like I said, like you just said, it's kind of like the yin and the yang. Cuz on the other side, I was on the the one side of the fence. So like when it comes to that, my favorite saying is every person in jail or prison is not bad, and every person in church is not good.
That's facts. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what
I was raised in church. I've seen some.
And that's exactly
I've
my
seen
thing.
some
I was
things.
raised in the church, so and I even now I look at a lot of things and I'll be like, wow, like, and but hey, I'm not no person to judge, but I know that is not what you're supposed to be doing, being in the church and claiming that you're holy. You see what I'm saying?
Man.
So I just let them do them, though, But yeah, that's my saying with that.
I'll tell you, like, moving to this town, man, I've definitely gained a wider net of a perspective. So like, there's been individuals I've interviewed for this podcast where they're reformed or they're out of prison, and now Kendall Johnson, one of my first interviews, doing forward movement where he's trying to do one small act of kindness a day, trying to help people, and he's trying to fill back in the community. And here you guys are trying to provide something new, a new lane where people can just take passion in the community that they were born in, no matter the color, the creed, your sexual preference, whatever. It's Peoria.
Right.
Peoria covers everything.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Before we end this interview, man, because we've been talking for like a solid hour now. Food vibe, man. I know, man. This is what I love about conversation, because you learn a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I kind of felt there was something in your stories.
Yeah.
But to hear this actual yin and yang and to sit in front of both y'all and see you guys examine the life and everything. Right. What's one thing you want people to understand about you personally? So, Flacko, we'll go with you first, man.
One thing I want you to understand about me. Sometimes you might not understand me. but I always mean well. I'm never no person that has ill intent for you. And the main reason for that is because I don't seek nothing from you. I come with everything I need up front. So I'm never looking to get or gain anything from you. You see what I'm saying? Everything is always real and wholesome. If I'm coming to you, I'm coming and I'm genuine with everything. So that's just the best way I could put it. You might not understand me because there's some things that I do that people just don't understand. But ultimately I'm a good dude, and everybody will tell you that gets to know me, they'll know like, oh yeah, he's just definitely a good guy. So
got a good heart. That's all they need to know.
That's all they need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Mario, what you got for me, man?
I want people to understand that I'm just trying to evolve daily. I'm not what I was yesterday. I'm a new man. I just try to just do better each day. I just try to be a good person because I understand that when you're a good person, you're going to receive what you put out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I want people to understand that, like Cuz said, I mean well in all that I do. If I hurt you, I'm so sorry because I didn't mean it. You probably caught me on a bad day, but also understand that because I do a lot in life and I have a lot of responsibility, that I'm not going to always have a good day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you know me and understand me, just know that, man, I must have caught him on a bad day. Different things like that. But I'm just trying to evolve. I want people around me to evolve. I want to be around like-minded people. I want to be around people who are happy for me, people who want to see me successful, because that's my energy towards them. You know what I mean? And if I could, real quick, I want to explain integrity wear.
Oh, yeah.
Like what it means. Because I know we talked about it earlier, but we got off subject. But we know that integrity means doing the right thing even when no one's looking, right? Yeah. Well, integrity wear means always wearing the right thing when no one's looking. Not only can you live your life with integrity, but you can wear your integrity. Mm-hmm. So on the wear, there you see the cancer ribbon right there. It connects the W.
Oh, yeah.
That's there because cancer doesn't discriminate. So what if we as people didn't discriminate? How strong could we be? Where would we be as people? And it's symbolic for my, family who struggle with cancer, battle with cancer. Like my grandmother who passed, I wasn't even supposed to meet her. So when my mom was younger, I think my mom was like late teens, early 20s. My grandmother was diagnosed with throat cancer, and they said that she wouldn't make it, past a certain, time. So originally we weren't supposed to meet her, but God said differently. You know what I mean? We spoke earlier about faith a little bit, but she made it. I was able to spend 38 years of my life with her. She's passed like almost 4 years ago.
And you weren't supposed to meet her. You had 38.
Yeah, 38 years with her, man. She was amazing. My aunt, I want to shout them out. My grandmother did pass, but she didn't pass from cancer. But when she passed, she did have cancer, though. My Aunt Dorothy, we call her Aunt Dow. She passed from cancer. She was amazing. I remember she died, I think the day before Michael Jackson passing. The day after, because I remember talking to her about Michael Jackson passing. I think it was like the day after or something like that. But anyway, my Aunt Emma, she currently has cancer. She's fighting. Then my Aunt Elizabeth, I actually watched her pass away. My Grandpa John and I actually, were there. I seen her take her last breath, man. It was it was rough, man. So cancer, not only does it affect my family, but I'm sure it affects your family. We spoke about that, and everyone. So it means something to me. So I wanted to put something in there that meant something to everybody. I want to connect everybody. So what if we did the same thing that cancer did, but opposite? They have one job is to kill, right? It doesn't matter what cancer it is. A tumor, brain cancer, pancreatic, it just wants to kill and destroy you. So what if we were opposite and we had love and we have, just compassion for people? We want to instill, good qualities of life. How strong could we be? So that's the whole concept. That's how I came up with it. And it means something for me. So we spoke a while ago, if I don't make a lot of money, it don't really matter to me because I'm doing something I love doing. I
feel that one.
I get a rush. My wife and I talked about when you sell something, you get a rush when you see people wearing your clothes or you seeing a happy customer. Yeah. That's love to me. That's life to me. Years ago, I would have got excited about a new video game. Now I get excited about this interview. I get excited about sitting next to my cousin, coming up with ways that we could be better, ways that we could, put on for the city, ways that we could bring people together, not only talking about it, but like the Migos said, walk it like I talk it. I want to walk it like I talk it. Years ago, I wasn't that way. But as time goes on, you get older, you start to evolve as a person. So we want to give back. We want to, be there. We want to be inspiring to people, man. A person who maybe wanted to start a clothing line, they were, hesitant about doing it, or maybe they want to start a smoothie business or a hat business. Whatever the business you want to start, it's okay to be inspired by people. You know what I mean? Because you should be, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I'm inspired by people. I'm inspired by my mom. I'm inspired by my cousin Ray. I'm inspired by my sister. Jonique Young is a chief master sergeant in the Air Force. It's like it's 1% of the people that make that, and I was able to watch her, receive that accomplishment. And she's gonna retire in 2 years. So I'm inspired by those things. That's life to me. Like my wife is accomplished at her job. She, does insurance, but she has a sneaker business on the side. And she started from the bottom up, man. I didn't help her. She did it on her own, man. That's what makes me smile. My oldest son is getting ready to start a hoodie business. That's inspiring to me.
You should start entrepreneurs left and right.
Yeah, because before we go, my aunt and uncle, which is his cousin, they own Popcorn Heaven. You might want to get them up here.
Popcorn Heaven.
It's on 609.
I feel like I talked to
West Lake Avenue. And actually, when you come, there'll be a vendor there this weekend.
All right.
So, but
I'm definitely popping up this weekend.
But stuff like that, man. That's when we talk about like life. That's what I want people to know about me. Those things that I just spoke about. That's me.
It's so. Screw it, we'll keep going. I don't care. As long as you're good, I'm good. Yeah. This conversation is now starting to just evolve into more aspects where I'm like, like the fact you said that this week I had, what was it, 2 days ago, I had 5 different friends from 5 different phases of my life. They called me and they're like, yo, Ross, I just did this. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah, get that, right? And then at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I don't go out like I used to, but I'm somebody's call when they want a joyous, like, pat in the back, like you did something. Yeah. And I love that my evolution has led me to that point where I'm like, 100%. I'm not going to be out to 3, 4 in the morning. I'm sorry. Ain't gonna happen. That ain't my feng shui no more. No. But the minute you accomplish something, make me the first, second, third, and I'm gonna big up the shit out of you. Be like, yo, about time, 100%. My dude. Right. Yeah. About time. Yeah. And it's awesome that passion is now starting to push down to the next generation. Mm-hmm. You got your kid. Like, that's awesome, man. Right. Like, to be able to see this. So it's pure against everybody.
Absolutely.
It's the entire family, unity, the yin and the yangs, the ugly, the beautiful, everything. The community is just everything.
Always.
No matter what, we unified.
I'm Peoria strong, man. I love Peoria, man. I'm always going to love Peoria.
Definitely.
It's who I am. It shaped me. It molded me.
Well, the city is
who he is.
Yeah, exactly. They've given you plentiful opportunities to discover who you were as individuals.
Absolutely.
And now, in turn, you're giving that back.
Oh, man, we want to get back, man. There is no greater feeling than seeing people happy or people seeing, that you're evolving in business. Like, we spoke about this. Mm-hmm. Business is not emotional. Mm-mm. It's strategic. Mm-hmm. Like, if I don't sell a lot of hoodies today or next week, my energy isn't like, dang, I didn't sell no hoodie. My energy is, what should I do next? Mm-hmm. Let me ask a few people, like, what do you want to see? Mm-hmm. I need to come up with some different plans. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, like we spoke about earlier, I didn't do this for money. I did this because this is something I always wanted to do. So I never wanted to live my life with regrets. So I do it because I get to see people happy, and I do it because I wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. So if I don't sell another hoodie, I feel accomplished because I did something I always wanted to do. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, you stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it draws right back to
media trained you? You brought that back full circle.
See how, at the end of the day, he stayed consistent. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, he just want to see. That's my main thing. To see a person smile, like, I love that. I love that. I love the hoodies. I love the hoodies. Like, that's what gets me. That's the thrill of all of this. It ain't about, I'm making money or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody that's really in the business know, you're going to lose first before you make. So you just jumping into something thinking that it's not gonna go just like that, because you're going to lose. You're going to lose as you go along, because there's just times that's just it happens. But like I said, it's not a loss. It's a lesson on what are you gonna do next. You know what I'm saying? So,
I've lost a lot of because I've given away so much.
Yeah.
You know, I may see a young kid who, man, I really want a good hoodie, man, but I can't afford it right now. What size you wear? A medium, man. Come get this hoodie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should do that type of stuff, man.
That type of stuff, like he said, prime example. Them the kind of things, you know, that really go unnoticed and unwavered, because it's not one time that I've ever like got on social media and talked about what I've given to this, and I give a lot.
Yeah.
People that, like I said, people that know me know I give a lot
For sure.
But I don't, because I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? That's not my thing to boast about everything that I give. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, jerseys, because that's what my business started off as. Beginning was jerseys. So, you know, I done given away jerseys because I done took losses because of people that didn't get their jerseys, or didn't come pick their stuff up. So now it's I got to pay the rest. You know, it was like I said, a process. But at the end of the day, I'll give it to somebody that may need it. Or, you know, I'm out at the Juneteenth last year, and I seen a kid, and here, you know, I just gave him the jersey. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we do that just go unnoticed. But that's my joy, because I see him like, oh man, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what makes me feel good about what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Something you're prideful and people take a liking to.
Oh, for sure.
Fills your heart.
Definitely.
Like, it's awesome, man. It's awesome that through everything you guys, like I said, you have big hearts.
Definitely.
You're trying to give back, but at the same time, you're seeing other people gain joy.
Absolutely.
Off of your hard work.
Man, for sure. Like this weekend, we're excited, man. I can't even explain the emotions that I feel, because, like I said, it's not about us. You know, obviously, you know, we came up with this whole thing together. You know, we put our minds together. But I want to put this out there, man. We are genuinely happy for each other. Like, I want to see him win. He wants to see me win. So it was easy to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's sit down over some coffee.
Tell.
Like, it was like,
it's easy.
Man, like, if he don't have, like, he'll be like, man, just get the hoodie for my cousin. I don't have, and like vice versa. Like, man, I have so much of his stuff in my house.
Yeah.
He got so much of my stuff. Like, it's, at the end of the day, we want to see each other happy. So this was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's do this. And I feel like, you know, I could say this probably, that we are, I can't say well-liked by Peoria people, but I think we have a good reputation. Like, I feel like we have always tried to put good energy out there. And I feel like we love, you know, where we're from. So we're very prideful of that. And so I think it's going to be a good weekend because of that. Everyone that's coming, they're the same as us. They put out good energy. They want good vibes. And I think that we have always given that off. You know, even when Cuz was in the streets, he was a good person. Yeah. So, you know, that's why he's not looked upon as a bad person, because he made, like he said, he was accountable. I did what I did. Yeah. But he was always been a good dude. Yeah. But now look what he's come out to be.
Yeah, that's
you know,
amazing.
He flipped that. He flipped that whole, you know, image that people probably had. And, man, now he out there, golden garments, man. Yeah. Like, you know.
Golden garments, that's what it's known for now.
People that you never thought that he would associate. We selling jerseys to some of the most accomplished people in this area.
Yeah.
But isn't that crazy, man? Like, everything you've been through, now you're seeing people with your golden garments on. You're like,
Yeah.
It feels, I mean, because and this is one of the main things, because, like, it's funny going, like I said, you know, into jail. Like, when I went to the prison stint, I watched the arresting officer. Not gonna say no names. I watched the arresting officer though. You know what I'm saying? He literally right behind, because my case was very high profile. So watching him, he when he got my case, he went up to a lieutenant. He was a sergeant starting off with me. He went up to a lieutenant right when I got convicted. Right behind that, next thing I know, he's the chief of police. So I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? You moved up pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I didn't, you know, I could have took that and made that like, oh man, you know, and been bitter about it, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it was what it was. He retired. You know, everything happened back then. It is what it is. You know, however my case went, you know, went. But I look at, okay, like you said, we got the new chief. You know what I'm saying? He's in here.
Man, he amazing.
Now, and yeah, amazing guy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a whole different kind of person, and this chief has a item from Golden Garments that he's bought. See what I'm saying? So like that's just you see how the transition then changed from like look where I was to now. I'm selling items to the chief of police. He's
from locked up to selling to the chief of police.
Exactly.
Golden Garments.
Golden Garments.
And the chief, man, he come with the heat on the shoes, man.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him a couple times.
He's fashionable,
man.
He
come with the heat, man.
He's not he's not no old, you know, he's definitely fashionable.
He come with that
Jordans
heat
and all of that. He does that.
You're going to make me bust out some of these.
Man, I'm coming with the heat. You better bring it, man.
I got about like 30 pairs. I got to brush some off. I'm going to come looking clean with
the heat.
Put a fedora on with the sneaks. Like, what up now?
Man, you got to make sure you get there, man. Enjoy yourself, man. It's going. I don't know if you can bring your camera in there, but take some footage, man.
Oh no, definitely. I'm coming through to check it all out.
We actually have two photographers too, Lacolis, and we also have Patricia Bryant.
Yeah.
I don't know them, but I'm down to meet them.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're real, accomplished photographers, and we have backdrops, so you're gonna be taking pictures. It's gonna be live, man.
I'm just come in, meet a bunch of people, like, can I hear you?
I would say definitely, because this is the place where you're definitely gonna rub elbows with people that you, like you said, you want stories and something to talk about. You gonna, once I could lean you to, okay, yeah, you might want to talk to them. You might want to talk to them. Like I said, some parts of the Yanni Collective, if not all, will be in there. That's some people that I feel like you really
They're
should
like
be.
the fifth person to tell me about them. I've yet to get it.
They handle business.
I'm acquainted with them with the Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? I do the basketball game with them. So like, yeah, they're definitely somebody, because they're big in Peoria too. They're up and coming more.
Collective. All right.
Saying? So yeah,
I'm gonna have to get them, man.
Definitely.
I'm gonna tell y'all both. I absolutely love this conversation.
Almost definitely.
Like, thank you so much for sharing, just going into detail about this.
Definitely.
Like, I'm pretty sure y'all didn't expect this. Like, all right, we're going to talk about everything about us rather than just the brand and the event.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we open book, man. We honest, don't have nothing to hide.
But I really hope anybody listening can get a small nugget from either of you guys, both of y'all, and just understand consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
Being consistent.
Man.
I did want to say, to piggyback off of before we finish, like the pressure that I have, like coming from Peoria or being a young black man. Can you understand working in law enforcement? Because if I don't do something, then you a lame, you one of them. Or if I am not aggressive in a situation, then I'm looked at, you one of them. So you have to always do your job, be respectful, and just try to let people know that, look, man, I have a job to do, man. And I'm not going to be the same way that you are. You know what I mean? The ways you are as an officer, that's good for you. I don't have to cuss nobody out or, be disrespectful to get my point across. Right. Conversations like this is what make you a man, what make you understand what life is about. I get my point across by just simple conversation like this. That works for me. What works for you may be cussing somebody out, but does that really work?
Nah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I understand you go a long way by respecting each other, but also letting the person understand, now, I got a job to do now. You know what I mean? So you got to respect that this is how I feed my family too. And to be honest, most people, they respect that. Like, if you come across respectful, they understand, like, oh, man, he got to do his job, too. So,
respecting boundaries.
I'm not going to disrespect you, but I have a job to do. This is how I feed my family. But I also respect you as a man, too. You know what I mean? You made your mistake. It's not my job to punish you every day. You know what I mean?
If you step out of line, it's part of the job that has to just come up. Yeah. But respect is big.
Yeah, for sure.
If there's one thing my father always instilled in me, it's respect. Yeah, especially man to man. I mean, of course, man to everybody, but at the level that we're talking as minority men, right?
Yeah, it's pressure, man.
Respect is huge.
Respect
is huge.
I give big props, and I probably never told cousins, but I give big props for what he does, because like I said, being a person that came from in there, being an actual inmate, I know how it is, probably, basically being, like you said, a minority and being an officer. Like, that's very hard, especially being from the area. You know what I'm saying? Because you're running into a lot of the people that you see right out here on these streets.
Yeah,
That's hard. Like, that's not an easy thing. I know exactly what he mean by where respect, because the thing is with that is, and like, I'm not gonna take up too much more of our time, but
no, you're good. I'm on your time, man.
But the thing is with that is, like he said, respect. You have to, you have to earn, respect. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come in and, oh, I got this uniform on, and are you gonna respect? No, that's not how you get it. A man is gonna respect you as a man first, and then the uniform come with that. You know what I'm saying? So like, basically, if you come to me as a man, like you said, I got a job to do. You know that, but I'm not gonna come in here and put this uniform on you. Just all because this is, I'm having a bad day.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm putting a uniform on you, or I'm in control. So you do what I say. No, it's, man, let's talk it out as men. And then now, if we can't get that situated, now, I'm finna have to use the uniform, and that's how I go. But ultimately, it's respecting you as a man first, and then everything else carries with it.
And this all makes sense. Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
It's a saying that we use, and Cuz can vouch. You got to give people what they got coming.
Yeah.
Like if they got it coming, you got to give it to them. Like, for example, if they're supposed to receive a hot meal, you got that coming.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna take that from you. You got that coming. And also with that, respect comes with that. You give me my respect, you got respect coming back from me.
Absolutely. 100%.
What's intriguing about all this is that the more I hear perspectives of the new chief of police, and I've met him a handful of times. He shook my hand. He shook up with me, and he's talking to me about stuff that has nothing to do with anything going on, just the common respect.
Right.
And everybody that I come across that knows him on a certain level is like, oh, no, this dude's cool. Yeah. Dude's all about respect. Yeah. And he carries himself, it was Eric Echavita, right, is his full name?
Yeah.
But I've heard so many perspectives from different people, different walks of life in town that have the same thing to say about him. Yeah. And I just love meeting people that carry themselves with that and give it out.
Yeah.
And in turn, you get it very easily.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. I want to say something on air too, because this needs to be addressed. We need more minorities in law enforcement.
Yeah, it's true.
You need more minorities to be lawyers, to be doctors. Because what happens is when you have a situation that could be volatile, right? Because maybe the officer doesn't understand the south end of Peoria.
Exactly.
The nuances of the culture.
If you get a person like me who come and I arrive on a scene, they see a familiar face, they're going to be more compliant. They understand he ain't out to get me. Because most people have a lack of trust or a fear or feel intimidated. So if I pull up on the scene and I'm more calm, like, hey, what's going on here? Instead of saying, man, get on the ground. Hey, what's going on?
Right.
Look, man, I done hit my girl, man. She stole on me. You got to hear people out.
Right.
So when you have people who are like-minded or were raised or grew up in the same setting, there's an understanding in their job. So I feel like when you have more officers that are well-versed, it makes the situation that could be vulnerable fixable or salvageable. Of
course. Or
it can be not as bad. We'll look back and say, man, that could have went bad. But Officer Johnson came, man, and they respected him, so it went easy. But if you have no minorities putting in and you have people who are patrolling areas who have probably never seen a black person in their life. I work with some people who they like, man, the first time I met a person was in the military. I'm like, what? A black person was in the military. I'm like, what? So man, look, I can't say enough, man. You need people in places that look like everybody.
Well, yeah,
to make it work. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
Back then, you would have police officers that lived in the area, policed the areas that they lived in.
Right.
That changed, I think, because of security purposes, or that's the reasoning behind that they put it. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah, because you have to. I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah,
you have to, like, you have to get somebody or the type of people that's going to understand a certain type of person.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? You can't bring, you can't get a person that's never lived no type of part of this life and expect them to understand and know how this person moves or why they're moving while they're moving. You see
It's
what
the
I'm saying?
nuances of the culture, of the environment, of the community. There's a psychological aspect to being a person in the blue uniform.
Right.
There's an entire mental component that people don't really address much of.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of things you've seen. Your perspective has changed more many times.
For sure.
Being a minority in, the service.
Yeah.
And you've learned things. And
I've worked with some, I ain't gonna lie, some great people too, man. Some real good people, man. To be honest with you, I've learned a lot from some people. But we have to get more minorities put in because you can't complain about who responded to the call if we're not applying for it.
Right.
And we got to stop telling people, man, why would you, that's lame. Why would you be a cop? Why would I not be a cop?
Right.
Why would I not be a lawyer? Why would I not be a doctor? You lame for not want to do something like
That's
that.
part of changing. That's
Like,
part of change.
You can't, you know what I mean? You got to, like, that same thing reminds me of a person who complains about voting or the outcome, but you never voted.
Yeah.
Why Trump the president or Biden president? Did you vote? No. Well, shut up.
Right.
How you gonna complain about the call if you ain't telling people that look like us or look like you to put in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you put in, then the people who are from this area, you're patrolling your area.
Right.
So like my cousin, he's a cop here. I'm not gonna say his name. He's from here, so he patrols these parts that he grew up in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he's responding to situations that like people that know him, so he has a good vibe because people know him. They know he has a heart for people.
He's built,
and he's from here.
Yeah,
he's from here. You know what I mean? So they know that. Oh man, he ain't out to get me, but I got it coming, man. I did speed, man. So you can give me my ticket, because they know they got it coming, good or bad.
Yep.
There was a police officer. I'm not gonna say his name back in Chicago where he saw me. He was from the area that I was from. He saw me not born, but like he's seen me grow. Mm-hmm. And one time he caught me speeding. I'm like, my bad. He's like, your mother taught me in Sunday school. I'm like, I know. Call her. Let her know. Sorry. He's like, all right, just get out of here and don't do it again. If I catch you again, I'm writing you up. I'm like, all right, cool, my bad. And I went home and she's like, yeah, Officer blah, blah, called me. I'm like, yeah, my bad. But like the fact that he took that time. Mm-hmm. And since then, I watched my speed. I'm like, all right, cool, because you called my mother.
Right, yeah, definitely.
But the fact that he was able to do that and reach me a different way rather than make me feel like I'm bad because I made an error.
Yeah.
Like, I like to talk to some kids, man, from like when I worked at JDC, I learned to talk to them, you know what I mean? So now when I see kids messing up and they making some horrible decisions, but I like to ask, like, if I could, like, why are you doing this? Like, you know what I mean? Do you understand the consequence? Like, I don't think they understand the consequence. You stealing cars. A consequence could be, like, you might get shot by the owner. Or, you might have to go to prison for 20 years.
Yeah.
Something can happen.
So, you do it for... Basically, like 1 second could change your life forever.
Split-second decision can have a huge impact.
It could ruin your life. Or you could be driving a car to get away. You crash. You kill your best friend.
Yeah.
Your life is messed up mentally now. Like, how do you come back from that? Mm-hmm. So everything that you do, like these teenagers, they do, I want them to understand there's consequences, man.
Of course.
It is major. Okay, you stole the car. You joyride. You put it on Snapchat. They gonna catch you.
Yeah.
They coming to get
put
you
it on social media.
For
what? Why? Who you showing out to?
Man,
these fools ain't gonna be visiting you.
No,
man, like for real, they not.
And they definitely ain't. I can tell you that. I've been through that. Man, it's not peaches like what people think. When you man, and free you and free this person, it sounds so good and it looks good on the internet. But please believe when I tell you, I've been there. Like I said, I did over 1,000 some days. They don't be there. They start off, but they don't be there.
That's true.
You're only gonna have like that one or two or a couple people that's gonna really ride it out with you, and that's why, like I said, who I do it for, that's
family.
It's them, because everybody else, they I love you. Look, it don't really be all real. You know what I'm saying?
Because you out there basically risking your life for somebody, like he said, ain't gonna be there when you need them.
And that's exactly what man, I did a lot for a lot of people that just didn't, man, like I wasn't even alive. Because basically when you in there, it's like you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but
life continues as years pass.
Absolutely.
So
I ain't mad at none of them.
We want to use our brands to like talk to these kids. I know, like when we sell hoodies to young men, I talk to them.
Definitely.
I
try
speeches, to like motivational speeches, going to talk to kids.
Man,
schools.
all the time. Like I haven't gone to any schools, but you know the setting I work at. You know, so obviously I speak to a lot of people all the time. But I'm just talking about even in Peoria. Like when I'm out and about, I'm talking to these kids, man. You know, I have a teenage daughter, so I genuinely care about the youth, man. Like because how can I not? I have young kids, so I care about them. So when they mess up, I be want to know, like, man, do you know that you finna ruin your life, man? Like, you don't have to impress anybody, man. Impress yourself. Mm-hmm. And they making these bad decisions, man. And it's, you know, I can't get into their head like 30 years in prison is a long time. Man, you 19, 20, you gonna be 50 when you come home. Like, is it that important to look good for the social media real quick? Like, stay out the way. Like
flexing real quick for nothing.
Enjoy. Like in high school was one of the best times of my life. There's so many kids that don't go to school. I'm like, they missing out.
The high school, the college experience, man. Those years of growth. Yeah. Of making errors.
100%.
It's okay to make errors, but you have to make smart errors.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You have to learn and you have to stumble a little bit, but don't make the permanent dumbass error that's going to get you locked up.
Life changing.
Yes.
The life changing error.
They're gonna make bad decisions, but you gotta be there to when they do make bad decisions to not to be so demeaning to them. You know,
they know they did wrong.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of people that I've talked to that through these episodes who have been in prison come out, every single one of them are like, no, I know what I did wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But treat me like a human at least.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they are human. You know, mistakes happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just that. You know, but you at the end of the day, we all are people. We all are human. Mm-hmm. We all be treated as such. So
Peoria versus everybody.
Peoria versus everybody.
Bam! And that's how you end it, my guy. Okay, so where can people go to look at the material, to look at the brands? How can they get in contact with you if they want to speak with you, support the brand, etc.?
Like far as like our social media handles?
Social media handles, is there a website to send people to buy the clothing?
So basically, like, we use our social media. Like, you can go to on Instagram, integrity_wear. Also, you can go to I_am_Rio23 is my other Instagram handle. On Facebook, I'm Mario Young. Also, you can reach me phone 309. It's my business 402-5023. You can contact me through there, and I'm available.
And that's how they can buy the brand and all that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Cool.
Yep. Me, Ray Flacko on Facebook, Ray Flacko on IG, Ray Flacko 5 on IG, all lowercase.
Was there 4 before?
And then I have Golden Garments. It'll be Golden_Garments 21 on IG. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And and then on Facebook I have Golden Garments page. I operate more or less off the Ray Flacko page. You can message me, or I got a business line 309-501-1155. I have gear sometimes on hand. Sometimes mostly I do pre-orders. So I could tell you how that goes, but yeah.
I have gear on hand too as well, but I do a lot of like local pop-up shops. Like at my uncle's popcorn place, I do pop-up shops there like twice a month, and it's just a good vibe, man. Good situation.
Follow the social media. Keep what you guys.
Yes.
Ray Flacko, Mario Young, Golden Garments, Integrity Wear. Also the host of the first annual hoodie and sneaker ball. Just happened this past weekend, because when this episode comes out,
yes,
I'll be there. Hopefully it's going to go great.
Most definitely.
And
definitely.
Thank you so much for giving me your stories, man. I really appreciate it. I love the fact that even though we're like, yo, let me end this, there's still more information. Like, I feel like I could talk to you.
Man,
cats
we'll come up here for a round
hours.
2 or something one day.
There's gonna be a round 2 because you know what, you guys are gonna do another big event. I'm gonna have to bring you back on, and hopefully we could time it out better. We'll
do something in the summer, man.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. All right, guys, so this has been another episode of the KZ Community Beats. I'm your host, Ross Martinez. Do me a favor, go check out everything. Tell everybody to look it up. We appreciate it, and keep supporting everybody else as, it's Peoria versus everybody,
That's
baby.
right.
All right, we out. Peace.
Oh, yeah, that was dope.